All right, hello once again. Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College Application and Website Development, or AWD 1100 Programming Fundamentals with C# course, I've been creating a series of video presentations that are based on the PowerPoint slides for the textbook that we're using, that being Muroc C# 7th edition, which you see right here. Now, I've done extensive work. I've gone through all of Section 1, all of Section 2, about 60% of Section 3, all of Section 4, and in Section 5 here, I'm only going to do chapters 19 and 22. But as we bridge from 19 to 22, I've been doing a series of lectures on some database fundamentals in here. So I have gotten to where I am using the MMA books here, and I've written a fairly simplistic little sheet here, and I've made about 20 things, and I just added one more. I have not written any of these queries yet. I'm going to write them right in front of you so you can see what they look like, but I'm going to try to add about 4 more queries, so for a total of about 25 here. All right, and I will make this available. I will make sure I send out a copy of it to everybody. So the first query that we're supposed to write here, all right, the first query, as I get to my SQL window, there it is we are supposed to come in here and list all states. Well, that's pretty simple. So let's do a select, I'll tell you what, let's do a select count star and from states. And then we'll do another one in just a minute. This should come back with 53 because, again, we added District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, and it says 53, exactly what I thought it would say. So there's a start. So that's a count of all states. So that's first one. Again, you'll have the answers too for this. Next, list all states that start with a vowel. So either A or E or I or O or U. All right. So this is a little bit more complex a query than the ones that we've written so far. So I'm going to say here, select star from states where state name, there's different ways of writing this, but this is how I'm going to do it, where the state name, like A or and let me copy this a few times. Let me hit enter here a few times. There. Why it keeps doing that, but it does. A, E, I, O, U. All right, we'll make some changes quickly here. So A or E or I or O or U. There will not be an or after this last one. Remember, this is case insensitive. So I'm telling you to select all states where the state name begins with an A or begins with an E or begins with an I or begins with an O or begins with a U. So we should have what? Let's see if we can think of these before I run it. All right. Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, at least those three. I don't think there's any state that starts with an E. We've got Indiana. O, we've got Ohio. So there should be at least 5 that are returned here. So I'm going to grab this just in case I wrote it correctly. So let's see. Oh, we got quite a few. Alaska, Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Iowa, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, and there is there's Utah, Ohio, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Let's do just a little bit of work here, and that is, let's go back to where we had our query, and let's, probably already is, but we'll do an order by state name. Okay, just in case. We'll run this again. Like I said, it probably pretty much looks the same as it did anyway. All right, so those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 states that begin with a vowel. Again, there is no E. All right, now you'll notice next we're going to have ones that end with a vowel. Alabama ends with a vowel, Alaska ends with a vowel, Arizona ends with a vowel, Indiana and Iowa and Ohio and Oklahoma end with vowels, etc. And there could be other ones too. All right, so we've got that one. And like I said, you will get a copy of this if you have an interest in it. So let's do the next one. Now, instead of starting with, we want ones that end with. So we want the A to come after this, the E to come after this, the I to come after this, the O to come after this, and the U to come after this. And we want to get rid of the beginning E, I, O, and U. So let's run this. Again, ends with an A, ends with an O, ends with an A. So you can see. I don't know if there's any that end with a U, okay? But you can see that right there. And again, these are in order based on the state code because that is the primary key. All right, so there's a couple of them. Let's write some more. List, oh, that was the next one. So list all states that end with a vowel, and that was this one. All right. Next, list all states that have more than one word in them. All right. So it should be select star from states. From states. I've already warned you. I haven't written any of these ahead of time. Where, let's see. I don't know if there is a word count. So I'm going to check. Is there a MySQL word count function? Count the number of characters, spaces, count the number of words with MySQL. So let's see. Whoa, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, I can do this, but it'll take a long time to explain this to you. Well, let's do this. Let's see. W3 schools, MySQL built-in functions. I want to see if they have anything. Character length, concat, character length, field and set, format, insert, repeat, replace, reverse. Returns a string of the specified number of space characters. Ooh, that might work. I don't know what that's doing. returns a string with that many. So it returns a string with that many characters. That is not what I want. Compares to string, substring, trim. Okay. That's not what I want. Count the number of spaces in a string. Not count trailing spaces. These are all things where you have to do replacements. I don't want to get into that kind of stuff. That's fairly complex. How do I count blanks in SQL? Well, let's see if I can use this. No idea. And if I can't, I'll just go on to something else. So, select some case when state name is null, then 1, else 0, and has number of null values. Now, those are nulls. Oh, Jeffrey. Position, string, find and set. Well, I'm going to try this. No idea if this is going to work or not, but it's interesting because I've never even seen that before. Select find and set. I want to search for a space, and what I want to search is the state name. So I want to select state name from states where that is in there. Again, this could be syntactically incorrect. I don't know. First of all, let's see if it's even going to give me an error here. It didn't. That's good. So I want the state names from states where there's a blank in the state name. Well, it came back with nothing. There should have been some blanks in the state name. Let's just check this part out. Selecting the state name. Yeah, see, that's in there. So it should have found one in District of Columbia. Let's try this. It didn't like that, so probably won't like what I'm about to do either. Telling it to give me this where this count is greater than 0. Yeah, invalid use of group function. Doesn't like the count. Let's go back to here. I don't think find and set returns a number. I don't think that'll work. See, it's not returning anything. Darn it. And when I did this and I didn't put in that greater than 0, I didn't think it found anything either. So it's syntactically correct, but the query is formulated in a way that it's not finding anything that's meeting that criteria, as you can see. Doggone it. There's got to be a way to do this. It's fairly simplistic. So this has got what? In the example they showed here, this find and set. Select, find, and set. Let's try doing it that way. Well, oh, I've got a Q in there somehow. Let's see. Let's go back up to here. Yeah, I wanted just a blank space in there. So this is actually close. It does not look as, it looks as though it didn't, I don't know if there's a space in there or not. Well, I don't want to waste any more of your time going through this if we're not going to get any results. But we're getting 0 back for everything. See, what I was hoping would be we could come in here, then eventually go in and do this. So we would select the state name. Find and set a blank in the state name from states. But I don't think this is going to work. If you notice here, so District of Columbia, that should have actually found that. All right. So there is a way to do this. It involves a little bit more complex stuff than we've gone into so far. I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to leave this here, which is not correct. All right. So list all products with the word Java in the product description. Okay. Select star from, and I'm just listing all fields. We wouldn't have to do that. From products where prod description. Now Java can be anywhere in there, so I'm going to say like %, Java, %, and that should find Java, JavaScript, or anything else like that. All right. It's giving me that, which means typically it doesn't like something. Select star from products. Oh, from products. Well, let's change to products here. And there is a prod description, so that should be okay. What doesn't it like? Ending quote was expected. Oh, I didn't put an ending quote there. There we go. All right. So Java. There, notice we've got JavaScript. So this is in the description. So Java, JavaScript, JavaScript, Java servlets. So that worked. And I need that ending single quote there. Next, list all products with a product price of greater than 50 or equal to $57.50. Now it's called prod unit price. So let me change this to as a product unit price. Where prod unit price, and even though I'm showing this the way I put it in there, this could be all in lowercase or uppercase, it doesn't matter. Greater than or equal to 57.50. And there they are. All right, and we can, let's do a little bit of work on there, so pretty them up a little. Sort the results by product unit price, descending, product name, ascending. All right, so we'll put an order by on here. So order by prod unit price, descending, prod I guess it's the description, and we want that ascending. So the product description. All right, so that's in descending order, and when I look over here This is now when we've got ties, it's in ascending order. Okay, there's another one. And again, I'm just going to keep doing this and doing this. I mean, I'm at 25 minutes. It'll take somewhere upwards of an hour, I would guess. All right. So list all products with a quantity on hand of less than or equal to 3,000. So this field is prod on hand quantity. Is less than or equal to 3,000. And again, we will, just like we did before, sort the results by product quantity on hand in descending order, and then the description in ascending order. So I think we've got it already. So let's double check. You see these are in descending order. There are no matches. So if there were, we would do it on that in ascending order. Okay, so that's done. List all the order options. Well, there's not really anything to do there, so let's just select star from order options, I believe, unless I changed the name and I didn't think I did. There's that. There's one, there's the sales tax, there's the first book ship charge, there's the additional book ship charge. Nothing big there. Give a count of all invoice product totals grouped by invoice product total in descending order. Select count star as INV product total. So we want that. Group by. Now I want to see if I can do this, if I can group it by here. Now that's just going to be a count. So we want the count plus the product it's from invoice. So that will be INV product total. Now that's going to look better at the beginning if this does work. No comma on the end there. And group it by that. Again, this may not work. I may have to go with the group by. I may have to put the whole thing back in there. Well, I warned you that might not work. Yeah, unknown column. Okay. I know that in some relational database management systems you can do that. So I'm going to do here a count of this. Again, may or may not work. So you have an error right near the as totals in line 2. Okay, maybe it just doesn't like that I put that in there. Still wasn't. Unknown column, INV product total. INV product total. Oh, well, nice to tell the table that you want this from, wouldn't it? So from invoices. Invalid use of group function again. Doggone it. See if this part works. So there were 40, and that was the total invoice. 172.50 and 40. So let's look at that. It just did the first one. There you go. All right. So we had 19 that were at 57.50, 6 that were at 59.50, etc. All right. Again, what we're doing in here right now more than anything else is typically, it's referred to as data mining. So in other words, the information is in there and we're mining it out. All right. So all right. Give a sum of all invoice product totals. So select sum INV product total, and I'll give that an as. Sum INV product totals from invoices. That should work. It looks like it at least makes sense. So it was $4,105.50. I'd have to go back and add them, but I have no reason to think that that would not be correct. All right, select the largest, smallest, and average product totals. All right, so select max INV product total. We'll do that as largest. And if it's one word like this, we don't even need these single quotes around here. So min INV product total as smallest. And finally, AVG as average. This may give me a chance to show you something else too once we get to that point. So let's run this. Unknown column, INV product total and field list. I didn't save the from. Good gosh, Jeff. From invoices. So there's our largest, there's our smallest. Now notice with our average, I'd really like that to just 2 decimal places. All right. So there should be a function in here in our list of functions that we saw that's called round. And it's not showing one. Well, these are string functions. So let's look in here. We'll do this. W3 schools, MySQL, math functions. It's not showing. I was sure there was a round function. I'm going to try it anyway and see if we can find that. So we've already got the correct thing in here. But I'm going to see if we can do a round. And we want to round this to 2 decimal places. It already is. But I want to round this to 2 decimal places. And that already is. Finally, I want to round this to 2 decimal places. And it is not. So I'm not sure if round is supported here. So if it comes up with an error, I'll just go on to the next one. It's not giving me errors, and that's always a good sign. Unknown column, again, INV. Did I do it again when I didn't say from? Yes, I did. And you can see it's now to 2 decimal places. I didn't have to do those, but there's no guarantee that when we do the largest and smallest, that somehow something weird wouldn't have gone in there. Just the average is really the only one that I had to do. So I think what I could leave them all in there, but I'm just going to put in the max here and the min here, and I'm going to remove the 2. We'll keep the rounding there. So again, we'd have to do that. Oops. From invoices. Double check that one to make sure that it works. Of course it doesn't. Doesn't like my round line. Oh, because now I don't need this and I don't need this. There we go. That should fix this. Okay. All right. So we got 10 done here. I'm going to do a few more. So the largest and smallest and average invoice total. This is the product total. I'm going to just copy that. I want to see what's in this invoice thing. It's INV invoice total. Oops. Yeah. Should finish that. So for our invoice totals, that was the largest, that was the smallest, that was the average. Now, if you ever do this, if these were reversed, that just means you put the wrong label in here or something. And if the average is some god-awful number, so if my average would have been 1,000 here and the largest is 654, I'd have to go back and take a look at the query because something would have definitely been wrong there. All right, show the sum of all invoice totals. So just grab this. And we will use sum here. We'll call it sum of all invoice totals, which is way too big a name, but that's fine anyway. Okay. So that is $4,599.26. Show the invoice line item totals group, but well, my group buys have been going to hell anyway, so I'm just going to skip that one. All right. Show how many invoice line item unit prices are less than $55. So I'm going to skip this. I'm just going to literally write the word skipped there. All right. I'm going to go through this one and then I'll start a new recording. Show how many invoice line item unit prices are less than $55. So that's invoice line items. And it's ILI unit price. So that would be select count of those unit prices from invoice line items where the ILI unit price is less than 55. Now, I don't remember if that is the name or not. Invoice, yep, invoice line items. And I didn't even capitalize there, so and it doesn't matter if you do or not, so let's check this. All right, doesn't like something. Spelled where wrong, that's not a good thing. There are 9. Let's see if we can verify that. So let's look at so here's our unit price. I'm looking for ones, so how many are there in here? There's 59, so it'll be 3 or 4 pages. Looking for ones that are less than $55. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, if I counted right. And what did I get when I ran the query? Oh my goodness, I did the same thing again. 9. So I guess I miscounted. But hopefully at least you're getting the ideas we're running through these. All right. So I've done 14 out of the 25 that I'll do, and I've written these. I'll have to go back and write 4 more. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to create for you queries 15 through 21, and in the interim, I am going to write queries 22, 23, 24, and 25. So I'll be back with that shortly.